Hi, it's Tisha Powell. I'm live in New York, the USA, and we are covering the business news for the United States and around the world. I'm a former Wall Street attorney, I'm a writer, and I'm an independent journalist. And where else to cover business news than Manhattan, New York? I'm an hour from the city. So what's going on in the United States? The housing market. The housing market is unaffordable for the residential properties in the United States. What causes that? Well, as an author of the book, The Homeowner's Guide to Surviving Foreclosure, and someone who worked on well over 1,000 properties, restructuring their debt for foreclosure and trying to get them some modification, one of the first things that's happening is, number one, there is a real inflation. So that is contributing to the high cost of home, because when there is an inflation, assets go up and so does cost of living. So everybody said this is a housing bubble. I'm 47 years old. I've been in and dipping in and out of real estate since I was 22 in the United States. I've been doing real estate since I was 5 years old. That is a former real estate builder and developer. So I'm coming from that background. And I've got to tell you that the market goes up and down and up. Nobody's telling you that. In 2007, the market was almost the same price. So in 2007, if you bought a house in Florida, let's say you bought a house in Fort Lauderdale, you'd have paid $400,000 for that house. Okay. The market crashed. That house went from $400,000 to $258,000 for 20 years. Today, that house at 2020, that house doubled back to 400 and it's on its way up to 600 now. So now they want you to believe that we are in a bubble. What most people are not seeing is that the cycle we rely upon that goes up and down. I'm a Wall Street lawyer. The Lord gave me that brain. The market that goes up and down, we're getting the same cycle as we did in 2007 and 2023. So that's not a bubble. Okay. The inflation is why the properties aren't coming down. Okay. So if there's a bubble, it's probably only up by 100, but because of the inflation, the properties aren't coming down. Here are another two theory of the housing market. Okay. Separate housing from commercial. Okay. Housing is different from commercial. Please separate housing from commercial, because the commercial market in the United States crashed. Okay. Everybody is pretty much working from home. Where you think I'm doing digital journalism from my home. I used to do it in the city. I used to have an office in Florida. I used to have to go there, those things are done now. Everything is remotely. So people are buying more homes than they need. The office is at the house now. We're going on to digital assets. So that's the issue that's going on in this country, is that we're going on to digital assets. And because we're going on to digital assets, people are going to be working more from home, which means that it doesn't seem as if residential property will be on its way down if most people be working from home. Also, the reason commercial is down is supply demand. There is just no demand for commercial real estate. People are working hybrid and eventually they're going to work remotely. After 2020, we noticed that digital real estate is becoming valuable. Speak of digital asset, digital real estate. Have you invested in the digital asset, digital real estate as yet? That is something that we're going to talk about on the business news as well. But digital asset is here to stay. I mean, banks, United States banks. I know there's about 4,800 United States banks in America, but they're saying that digital asset is the new norm. So for those of you who think digital asset isn't here to stay, you have not been watching the news recently, but digital asset isn't going anywhere. The government, the federal government, has even invested into cryptocurrency. There are around 22,000 cryptocurrency. Don't count me to the T. I'm saying there's approximately 22,000 cryptocurrency, and the federal government, United States federal government, they too are jumping on the bandwagon of the federal currency. Ladies and gentlemen, wake up. We are in a digital asset era. I'm Tisha Powell. I'm an independent journalist bringing you the news on the internet from YouTube. I'm a digital independent journalist. The world changed after 2020. Somehow the internet has accelerated things for us. So people, you've got to change the way you think about stuff. And you got to see that this cryptocurrency is here to stay. And this digital asset and this remote working is here to stay. This is a new era, okay? So get with the program. I'm 47 years old. I'm telling people digital asset is what you want to invest. This is a business news network. We're going to have on CEOs. We're going to have on finance people. But digital asset, you should look at it. The bank in the United States, the CEO of the bank is saying that digital asset is on the rise and it's here to stay. What is a digital asset? YouTube channel is a digital asset. It has value. It has value. I mean, most people on YouTube are independent producers, so that's a digital asset. It's credible as well because it's by Google, and web pages are digital assets, but you don't own anything. Oh, but you really don't own your home either. You've got a mortgage on there that they can accelerate the loan, and the government can do eminent domain and remove you. So we don't really own anything. We think we own stuff because we physically can see it, but we really don't. Because any country you're in, the government can literally use eminent domain to remove you from your home. So really, what do you own? That's why I said digital asset is the same. Yes, we are the tenants, and there are a few landlords like Google, Amazon, Apple TV, and the works. And that's good. And we appreciate the tech stuff. But what I'm telling people is try to have two webpage, one where you get all the subscribers, and then one where you are on the webpage. And the reason is that even though digital asset is new, I think you should still kind of print. I don't know. I'm just the old fashioned, and I am not Meghan Markle. Thank you very much. My name is Tisha Powell. I know everybody say I look like Meghan Markle and I look like, what's the other one? Stacey Dash, but I am neither one of them. Okay. We are covering the business news of the day. Okay, so we talked about the housing market. We do not believe the housing is in an inflation. However, Elon Musk, he said that when a housing crash, he bought a house in Texas, Austin crashed. That's why Elon Musk might have been talking about the residential housing crash, because he's in Texas and that era crashed. Okay, so what they're speculating is the areas that didn't crash in 2008, areas in the United States that didn't crash in 2008, which is Florida. Florida crashed in 2008, so it's not going to crash now. So that's what they're saying. They're saying that the areas that crashed in 2008, those housing market, they already did their inflatable bubble. They popped, and now they're at real value. Now, the inflation is going to test the other areas that didn't crash in 2008. So if you're in the United States and you're in that Texas area, hang through, hang through. It's Texas crashed, Austin, Texas, and so did San Francisco. That market is on its way down. So the housing market some is local, some are up, some are down, and commercial is on its way for a crash. And I think I'm going to have to help some of these commercial people because the banks are going to try to wipe them out. And these are mom and pops. Commercial is bad. I mean, everything is going on the internet, digital assets. So we talked about commercial real estate. Interest rate in the United States is on its way up. It's not on its way down. And so we expect more banks to crash. Don't worry. There are 4,800 banks in the United States. All right. So we could lose 1,000. We're fine. Okay. I've been in a country in Jamaica and banks crash. We survived it. Okay. we've got close to 5,000 bank here. America is still one of the greatest country in the world. Outside of China, we're probably second. Right now, we're first. We're workaholics. We can do it. Do not panic. It's the interest rate that's going up. The banks bought cheap money, 2% treasury bonds, and now they owe 8%. So they're like 6% is a lot to feel, okay? The inflation is pretty bad in the United States. It raises up the cost of homes, gas, food, and just about everything. So all we can do at this time is just thank God we are alive. That's what we need to see. The debt ceiling, it's predicted over 700 people are going to lose something from food stamp because the debt ceiling actually reduced some of the food stamps. So even though President Biden championed himself for the poor people, it is some of the poor people that are going to feel the effects of the debt ceiling. Student loans are going to come out of pause, young people. President Biden has said he's going to be okay with taking the student loans out of pause. So yes, government has power, and the debt ceiling didn't work out for some people. The COVID relief was also taken from the debt ceiling. I'm Tisha Powell. Subscribe to our channel. We have been doing television for the last 15 years on cable channel. I've been on Fox, Newsmax. I've written hundreds of shows, half an hour long. And yes, now we're new to the internet. We're not new to media. We're just new to the internet. We have 150,000 views on YouTube already and counting, combined with all our channels. We did over 2 million on Twitter. You want to know why 2 million people viewed it on Twitter? Subscribe to find out. I'm one of the kindest person you'll meet. We are planning on giving away stuff. Subscribe right now. The information comes up. I'm Tisha Powell, TeishaPowell. Subscribe to my YouTube channels for the latest American news in politics, business, lifestyle, and fashion. All right, my producer just texted me to tell me time's up. Good seeing you. I'm Tisha Powell. From all of us here at Talk Time, thanks for watching. See you real soon. God bless you all. From all of us here, we're in New York, the USA. See you next time. Take care. Bye.